Hi there, I'm going to show you how to install finger tapes on a violin, viola, cello, or double bass today. The concept is the same for all of the instruments, even though the double bass and the cello are quite larger and may require you to put the instrument on the ground to be able to install them properly. But I'm going to show you basically how to mark your fingerboard and how to install the tapes so that you can do this on your own at home. You're going to need, obviously, some finger tape, and it may come in a roll like this, or I have some handy-dandy finger tapes that are already pre-cut. So I have some of that. I use automotive pin striping, and it's already pre-cut into a small size that will fit right across the fingerboard. So the first thing we want to do is we have to mark on the fingerboard where the finger tapes are going to go, because once you put the finger tapes down, they're really hard to move without just totally taking it off and starting over from scratch. So what you're going to want to make sure you do is make sure that your instrument's in tune. So I got my instrument in tune, and then I'm going to mark one of the fingers first. You can go ahead and start with first finger if you want. So I'm going to pick the B, which is first finger on the A string. And so I'm going to pluck and move my finger around until it matches. And then once I find that mark, I'm just going to take my pencil and put a mark directly across from it in the center. And you can see that it's a very small pencil mark, and it's not going to hurt anything, just there so that you can put a tape on there. So I'm going to double check that. Okay, and it's right there. Now, what we have to remember about the finger tapes, two things. One, finger tapes are going to be approximations. They're not going to be exact, perfect spots where the fingers go down. And two, the purpose of finger tapes is not necessarily to hear the notes better, but it is to shape the hand and get the hand shaped in whatever shape we're using for cello, bass, violin, or viola. It's to shape the hand. So we really want to train the ears. Finger tapes are a temporary thing that we're going to try to remove as soon as possible so that the ears are being trained. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead to the next note. Maybe I'll find my C sharp if I'm putting on that second finger tape. Now, if you don't have a tuner that makes noise and you want to use a tuner with a needle, you could also do that to find the pitch. But you want to make sure you're finding that pitch and then marking it directly in the center of where your finger is. So when you put your finger down on the finger tape, it will be there. And you can see my pencil mark is very light, and I have the C sharp. Then I'll go to D. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and mark it right across. I'm a little bit off. I can use my eraser, that's okay. And we can check with the open string too. I find that to be actually a little bit better. And I'll mark that finger tape. And then last, the fourth finger. So you can use any string. And now I'm going to mark that fourth finger. I have that set. And so I'm done with my pencil now. Now I'm going to switch my camera view, and I'm going to show you how to put these tapes on. All right, now that I have the pencil marks on the instrument, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put on the finger tapes. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to turn this way so you can see me a little bit better. But I'm going to steady that instrument with my legs, and it's going to make it a lot easier to put on. Then I'm going to go ahead and peel the backing off of the finger tape. Sometimes it's a little tricky, but if you bend it back a little bit, it'll kind of come off a little bit easier. Okay, so you just peel off the back, get rid of the backing, and then you got to be very careful. Make sure that your instrument is clean. Make sure that the strings are clean, the fingerboard is cleaned off. There's no rosin or dirt or dust that will get onto the backing of the tape, because it's very sticky, and you want it to stick on there and not fall off too easily. So I'm going to hold that instrument with my legs, and then I'm going to take two hands and be able to pull that up without touching the bottom of the fingerboard. And then I'm going to make sure that my instrument, my finger tape is my instrument tape is perpendicular to the fingerboard and to the instrument, and that way you'll be able to just have a good intonation across all your strings. Grab another finger tape here and try this again. So we're just going to repeat the process. Again, we're holding that instrument, we're peeling the tape, we're going to put it underneath the strings and straight over, and again, perpendicular to the instrument, and then wrap the ends around. So there's lots of different sizes and colors of tape. Some teachers will color code their finger tapes. I recommend using the 1/8 inch tape for violins and violas, and then the slightly thicker 1/4 inch tape for cellos and bass. And again, you can pre-cut these into different sizes depending on the instruments. Usually I'll do about 4 inches for bass, 3 inches for cellos, a few inches for violin and viola, and it just depends on how clean you want it on the back. I don't mind that it comes around the neck a little bit, but that's it. And once you get the other fingers done, then you are all set and you have the finger tapes on there. So that's all there is to it. Make sure that you're using a tuner to put your pencil marks on, and then applying very carefully your finger tape without touching any other parts of the instrument or getting them dusty, and they'll stay on for quite a while. And once they come off, hopefully you won't need them anymore. Thanks again for watching the Orchestra Teacher YouTube channel.